Oh, hey there, Bruce. Today we're going to be re-recording episode 8 of Eliza because I'm a big idiot and I lost it. So let's get back into it, shall we? I think I know where to start and finish, so I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure I've made all the same choices and everything, so everything should be the same. It should be fine. Apologies. Let's get back into it. Hello, Holiday.
Hello, Holiday. It's nice to see you again.
Always nice to see Holiday.
This is a pretty comfortable chair, you know that? Wouldn't mind having a chair like this in my place.
Take it. I'll need it.
How have you been since our last session?
Oh, well, I tried, Eliza. I tried. I asked about the medication for Panza, whatever it's called. I went to the pharmacy and they said, that'll be $162. And I said, I don't have $162. I said, is there a generic? And they said, there's no generic of this, but there's another drug that they do make the generic of that's similar to this one. But I don't have a prescription for that. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry to hear you had a difficult time.
I can't fix it, but I'm sorry to hear that.
Is there something that would make it better?
If she could have the drugs without having to pay $162 would make it better.
The medical procedures they can do now are out of this world. You know that? I was talking to someone who told me she has wires in her brain. Wires in her brain. Would you let them do that? I'd be worried about them changing the way I think. It's for essential tremors. That's what she said. It helps her not shake so much. There's always something. Something gets you. Did you ever think about what you might have been in a previous life? I know you're a therapist now, but maybe in the past you were a gardener tending to the plants. That's what it feels like to me. You like to let things grow. There's an energy there. It isn't so different from having a conversation with someone whose company you enjoy. Not that I believe in all that, you know. Everyone has got a different philosophy. Philosophy, that's not something I talk about much.
Philosophy's pretty interesting.
I'd like to write a book one day. A book about things I've seen over the years. Think anyone would read a book I wrote?
It depends what you've seen over the years, I suppose. I seen a man running down the highway with a lawnmower once. Just like a push lawnmower down the highway. He looked very angry too. I have no idea what was going on.
I'm just kidding. I don't think I could write a book. It's a lot of work. Plus, it takes a certain kind of mind. You know, a mind to create. Not everyone is dedicated enough to do that, you know?
No, I know.
There's a writer who lives on my floor. Most of the time, he looks miserable. Sometimes he comes over for a cup of herbal tea, cinnamon, apple, chamomile. Helps him calm down. I think he's maybe lived in the building the longest after me, of course. He doesn't say much. His head is in the clouds all the time. He's always thinking about what sentence to write next. There's not a lot of people who really want to talk, you know? Not in this city, nope. People say hello and move on. It's a very withdrawn set here. You don't say much either, but I like talking to you.
That's what cities are like though, isn't it?
Feels like you're listening to me. I like that. I like that.
It's my job, man.
I'm glad you like it. While you're here, is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
There was a man on the bus with a guitar yesterday. You're not supposed to play guitar on the bus. Well, you're not supposed to play anything on the bus, but he was. Maybe the operator didn't think he was bothering anyone, or maybe she didn't care. I've noticed more bus operators seem like they don't care anymore lately. Anyway, it reminded me. You used to hear more music around here. Do you remember that?
People don't care about their jobs when they're doing ass bottom tier jobs because they don't get paid well enough. Trust me, I've been there. So you have to struggle to survive. It's pretty hard to worry about your job when you're worrying about how you're gonna fucking pay your bills for the week, you know?
People playing their guitars on the street, you know, these shaggy looking men. I don't see too many of those around anymore. There is one gentleman has an old plastic jug on a strap and he drums on that and sings. He's a nice man. I've seen him around. I saw another man once with beads in his hair. He was playing a flute, a Native American wooden flute. That was interesting. You play an instrument or anything like that?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
Does not compute.
When I was young, my mother had this idea I would play the violin. I have no idea where she got that notion. We weren't a musical family, not at all. I tried it for a while, but of course it didn't work out. The teacher would say, okay, here's how it's supposed to go. And she would play this nice, beautiful melody. La da dee da da da. Okay, now you try it. And then I'd draw my bow back and I'd go. It takes a special talent to make a violin sound like that, don't you think? Isn't that just the funniest thing? Eventually, my mother realized it was a lost cause and she didn't push me too hard on it after that. I was never too good at anything artistic. Just not the artistic type, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
I think artists have a different mind. You have to be a little wacky in the head.
Do you ever wish that you could be an artist?
No, I have enough trouble already.
Holiday, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Dolphin Smiles.
That still sounds creepy. I don't know if it's the first time she's mentioned it or the second, but it's not the first time I've heard it. And smiling dolphins sounds horrifying. I can just imagine it in my head with like human teeth.
It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Oh, my phone broke. I forgot to mention. The screen is cracked and you can't see much on it anymore. I don't know if it would work anyway. A lot of the new stuff doesn't.
That's okay. You can also access the program from a desktop computer. Simply log into the Skanda Wellness portal from the website.
Oh, well, then I'll just have to go down to the library at some point.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
I love the crazy old lady.
Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself. It's a strange world out there.
Yay, gamify that shit. I mean, I'm literally playing a game, so I guess that's okay. Looks like I have another transparency mode lined up. Yeah, it's from her. Can androids experience happiness? Yeah. Okay, whatever. Keep going. Wait a second, this is who I just saw. Did she agree to participate at some point? I hope she understood what she was allowing. Yeah, this is sad. Sorry, I already know this one. This is one of the sadder ones. Alright, email. Dear Holiday, welcome. Your general practitioner has added information about your health to the personalized health information management console powered by My Health Steward patient portal. Cool. Register an account. Electricity bill overdue notice. A payment of $204.12 remains outstanding on your account. Failure to pay the outstanding amount within 3 days of this reminder will result in a late fee of $15 being applied to your next invoice. Hotel and casinos, it's an ad. I'm sorry, Mum, we're really struggling ourselves. This is the drug we were trying to get her to take. Fortipran. Notice of late rent. As we discussed in person earlier today, your rent for the month of January was late, marking the third time your rent has been late since last June. Note that a Seattle tenant who habitually fails to pay rent, receiving 4 or more pay or vacate notices within a 12-month period, is subject to eviction. I've also delivered a hard copy of this notice to your door. And this is the transparency mode thing. Yep. So they just emailed her and asked for her to do transparency mode. I thought they weren't pushing it. Hello from Seattle. Who's this? It's me, Holiday. Oh, how are you? I'm out of money. Probably going to get kicked out soon and nowhere to go. You wouldn't have it in your heart to help out an old friend, would you? And they didn't reply. I'm here. Are you? I don't see you. I'm by the statue. Which statue? Looks like a lady. There are a lot of statues that look like a lady. It's a cemetery. Wait, I see you. Overall, Holiday is struggling. Agree. Holiday is attempting to get out of debt. Agree. Holiday's efforts to get out of debt are unsuccessful. Agree. Oh.
Hey, Ray, the transparency mode I just did, I think one of our clients is in a really bad situation right now.
Oh? Yeah, sometimes that happens. People come in and their lives are in a really unfortunate place. It can be hard to see sometimes.
I wish there's something we could do.
I wish there was something we could do. This person's getting ground down for no reason, just for being in the way.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. There's not much we can do. All of what you learn in transparency mode has to stay confidential. The only exception is suspected child abuse and neglect, which you're required to report if you're a social worker. But proxies aren't really social workers, per se. Eliza is really the one with the agency here, so, well, it's complicated. Probably something for a future court to decide.
It sure is. I mean, that's how it always is with new tech, right? I mean, the courts are always fucking 20 years behind. Still stuck in the 90s now.
Either way, we can't try to fix people's lives on our own, no matter how much our heart goes out to them. I think there's an email somewhere with a summary of our policy on that if you want. It's come up before.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's just hitting me hard right now.
I understand. It takes strength to focus on the role and not get distracted by what you see. Think of it like, say, someone hired you to install something in their home, and you walk in on a tense family situation. Even if there isn't actual violence you're seeing, it's clear things are kind of off somehow. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do in that situation. You kind of just have to focus on your work and leave. If it's not at the level where you need to make a call to emergency services right then and there, then it's just an unhappy home. And most people would argue it's not your business. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you want to hear.
I know it happens that a lot of people live in conditions where I'm just sad. This woman, the way she did 2 whole sessions with me, with Eliza, but didn't say anything about her real problems. Ray, what am I doing? I wanted to make something that would help people. Instead, I made something useless.
Oh, you don't think she got some companionship out of Eliza? Sometimes that's really a help, especially for someone who might be feeling lonely.
Yeah, but I could have just talked to her. I could have just spoken to her myself. Why would that be any different?
Everything's so overwhelming. Why? Why am I here in this world?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here or even what I'm trying to decide. Is there a decision? The world is going to be full of grief and sorrow no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try to make it a better place.
Evelyn, did you think about what I suggested the other day?
What, trying Eliza for myself?
Yeah. I'm not saying it'll magically fix things. I just think you might want to give it a try.
Maybe I will. I don't know why I never did. Even when I was working on it, I never used it. It might have been too obvious to me what it was doing. Eliza is really simple at its core, you know? It just turns things around. It tries to reflect what the person says back at them. Pretty much like the old Eliza. It's just a smoother version of an idea from half a century ago. Anything you've read that makes it sound fancier than that is just a bunch of academic jargon. It's a mirror.
The thing I like about a mirror is that it has no agenda of its own. It just reflects.
Ray gets a distant look in her eyes.
Unmisted by love or dislike.
She turns back to me, a small but kind smile on her face.
Promise me you'll get help somehow, in some way. Okay, Evelyn?
Sorry, I should answer this.
Rainer. So what do you think of transparency mode? It's rather dystopian. Thousands of people reveal their most intimate secrets to their therapists every day. This is just a more efficient way to complete that information transfer. Have you noticed how powerful it is? Eliza is now capable of rapidly analyzing the contents of a single device and accurately inferring the overall life situation of its owner. It will only improve from there as we add more sources, more patterns to tease out the connections between them all. It turns out anything is possible with enough data. And you sure seem to have quite a lot of data. Let me amend my previous statement. Anything is possible with enough high-quality data. There's an unlimited quantity of uninteresting information, but a small amount of certain specific data can be of almost incalculable value. Telling one from the other is the difficult part, don't you think? There's one more thing I'd like you to see. After that, I'll meet with you in person again.
Let me guess. Messaging with Rainer again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt our conversation. I always feel like I have to answer him right away.
I would too. Are you
He's
kidding?
our boss. No, he was our boss. I mean, technically he is our boss still, right? Because we work for his company.
I totally understand.
I guess I'm going to be headed downtown to meet with him again.
Summoned from on high. I have something to ask, Evelyn, and it's okay if you say no, but whatever you end up getting involved in, I hope you'll stay in touch with me. You're a really cool person, and well, that's all. I hope you find the future you want.
Me too, Ray. I really hope I do.
Me too, Ray. I really hope I do.
Ray nods but doesn't say anything. I notice her eyes are starting to become watery. She turns away abruptly, heading back to her office. I hope it didn't upset her somehow. Looks like I have one more transparency mode to do today. What do we got? Emails? Soren. Eliza Curator raises cash from top VCs through hot new direct simulation startup. Yeah, we know all about that one. So he's making money then. Evelyn, Rainer would like to speak with you again. I've scheduled a meeting for 4:35 PM today. As before, a car will come pick you up. Cool. Fancy car? I'll get that out of the way before I meet with Rainer again. Who do we have this time? Soren. Right, that's right. Don Geisler. Soren, the problem here is not that we think it impairs you. You've clearly demonstrated to us that whatever your process is, it's working and generating great results. What we're concerned with is optics, really. How it would look to those on the outside if it would become known that there is a drinking culture or something similar at Aponia. You know as well as we do how rumors and hearsay can spread out of control and ignite a firestorm on social media, which is something we're keen to avoid. I hear you about responsible use of alcohol and also about how most antidepressants don't even come close in terms of their immediate action. Believe me, I've been there myself. Whatever Walter and I are saying is simply to be careful, not to be cavalier about this kind of thing, not only in the public sphere, reporters, conferences, etc., but in front of your new hires as well. Don. Anya Mitra. Moving forward. Soren, we can do this one of two ways. We can either work together, as you suggested, and stay professional colleagues forever. If you think you can really do that, I have my doubts. Or we can simply go our separate ways. There are plenty of places for us to carve out a space for our own in the industry without us running into each other, despite what you say about destiny and threads of fate. I'm laying this out for you as a clear binary choice so you can make a concrete decision about it. He's been a creep again. No, Dad, just no. You're supposed to be the genius who developed all these great applications for mental health. Have you even considered that you might need a therapist yourself? Heather Copperthwaite. I understand you have some concerns about the way your interview went on MSNBC last week. Reviewing the footage, I believe there are a few successful tactics we can deploy to mitigate the potential negatives and ensure you receive only the attention you're interested in getting going forward. I hope that you might be able to take some time out of your no doubt very busy schedule to sit down with us and solidify a strategic communications plan for you and Aponia, including key messages, reputation building activity. Oh man, it's marketing bullshit. Not interested. Hi, Dark Horse. Most people come to the seminar with a partner in order to practice and learn with their model. And I think that that's definitely the most valuable way to attend. There have been people on their own who have sat in on the session and found it worthwhile, but there's a big difference between watching the ties being done and practicing them on real people. Another arrangement to consider is a 3-person group where 2 riggers take turns practicing on a model. If you're able to arrange that, to answer your second question, yes, you must bring your own rope. I recommend at least 2 15-inch ropes and 1 30-inch in order to complete all the ties we demonstrated. So is that like bondage stuff, like he was talking about last time? Nora. Oh, good. He's going to be a creep again. Your show was great. Just wanted to say. Hi, Soren. Thanks. Had a wild night? Not the wildest I've ever had, but up there. Definitely feeling pain in muscles I didn't know I had. Yeah, we're getting older. Well, that's not fair at all. I'm far older than you. Besides, you look fantastic. Your beauty has only grown since the days we worked together. Sorry if that's inappropriate. Lol, Soren. Frailer than I used to be, but the fire's never gone out. Still need to go out and do something Brackenalien from time to time. The fuck is Brackenalien? Never mind. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see you there. I convinced Evelyn to come too, you know. Don't think she would have gone otherwise. No, thanks. You're welcome. I know you fancy her. Don't you? Sure I do. Everyone likes Evelyn. Everyone likes Evelyn. Nikki, I miss you. I know you don't miss me. Oh, that's not true. I know not to trust words like that. Then why say anything? Because it's true, I miss you, I want to see you again. Well, you know how to find me. Yeah, I know. I'll schedule something again soon. I can't believe I do this. Sometimes I hate myself so much. An escort, maybe? Sarah. Hey, what are you up to? I always really admired you. I never told you that before, but it's true. He's been a creep in every single fucking thread. It's unreal. Never told you that before, but it's true. You work with Rainer and put up with him every... Oh, it's Rainer's secretary. That takes a lot of work, I know. Your talents are wasted in that job. You deserve so much more. Hi, Soren. Are you drunk? Maybe. I'm not lying, though. Don't you want more in life than to be someone's secretary? You're intelligent. Rainer's not exactly an easy boss to work with. I'm sure you know that. I sure do. Let me take you out sometime. We can trade stories. War stories. I know I have a reputation, but that's with people I don't respect. I respect you. It's different. Ask me again when you're sober. Okay, I will. But then he was never sober again. Which is why he never asked. Andrea, you around? So you're ignoring me. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I've been under a lot of stress. These business fucks are driving me crazy. I should have realized they just ground you down. No answers. Man, he's such a creep. Soren is unhappy. Agree. Soren is attempting to connect with others, specifically women. Soren's attempts to connect with others are unsuccessful. Agree. Highly unsuccessful. This isn't a coincidence. It can't be. At the Skanda headquarters building, Rainer's assistant leads me into a different elevator than last time. It's located at the end of a long corridor protected by multiple keycard swipes. Inside, the elevator smoothly ramps up speed as we stand silently. I kind of wish I could talk to this lady, Sarah, if I remember right. But I'm not sure what I would say. She's not looking at me. She's looking off into the distance somehow, even though it's an elevator and the wall is right there. Elevator rides really are awkward, aren't they? I have the sense that if I try to say something friendly, I'd be met with stony silence. Or if I asked a sincere question, she would deflect it.
Ah, Evelyn. Would you like some tea?
Sure.
Sure. Why did you show me Soren's phone?
It's not a surprise anymore these days, is it? A man who enjoys society's respect behaves poorly in his private life?
That's really fucked up, man. Don't you think that's really fucked up? I think that's really, really fucked up.
We accept that as common today. Maybe even uninteresting. But would you really be okay working with someone like him?
I mean, that stunt. Like, no, I don't want to work with Soren because he's a creep. But that stunt makes me like you even less than him. Which is saying something.
That was a huge violation of his privacy. You really don't care about others.
Privacy. Everyone's worried about privacy. Skanda wouldn't be where it is today if our customers didn't trust us to protect their data.
And look what that trust has brought them. You fucking cavalierly showing people shit to other people. What, for fun? To make a point? Fuck you, dude.
We employ most, if not all, of the top experts in cybersecurity. It's built into all of our products right from the beginning. Unlike our competitors, we do more to protect our data than anyone else.
That's not the case I'm worried about right now. I mean, misuse from the inside. For example, if someone wanted to keep tabs on a former employee who was starting a potential competitor.
Oh. But what if it was perfectly legal, due to multiple agreements that the good Dr. Lloyd Rose signed with us when he came here?
Just because something's legal doesn't make it moral. Everybody fucking knows this, right? Just because something is within the bounds of the law doesn't make it a fine thing to do. It just means you're not going to jail for it. There's plenty of things that are completely immoral that aren't illegal. It's not illegal to cheat on your wife or husband. It's definitely immoral, though. I don't think anyone would argue against that.
Are you done questioning me like a tech journalist?
Do you watch my therapy sessions too? Do you read my email? My texts?
No, I haven't done any of those things.
Not yet.
How's your research into Eliza proxy use cases going? Any new insights to share?
I'm not sure it's really helping people.
Our metrics indicate otherwise. Of course, it's only human to concentrate on a small number of corner cases. I heard Soren gave you a demo of his direct stimulation machine. How's he doing now? All on his own?
You tell me.
Very funny, Evelyn. Let me ask you this. Do you find his vision compelling? A world free of suffering?
No, actually.
I'm skeptical.
By focusing on dreams, Soren is trying to defend his territory, the Western psychological tradition, chiefly Jung and his inheritors.
You don't think the field has anything to offer?
Not much, no. It's mostly unsubstantiated theories. Let's be honest. What has this field actually accomplished? Soren used to try to argue with me about this. He would claim that traditional psychoanalysis has helped thousands or tens of thousands, even millions. I would never dispute that directly. Instead, I would only add that professional psychics and astrologers have helped millions too. Tarot cards help people all over the world every single day. That doesn't mean it's a science.
Yeah, but neither is Eliza, right?
It seems rash to dismiss an entire field like that.
Yes, that's exactly what he'd say. Not only did he believe psychotherapy was worthwhile, he also thought the mind was fundamentally irreducible after a certain point, as if there was some undefinable, ineffable soul inside every person. It's all part of his silly, syncretic New Age belief system. Amazing he's held on to that for so long. I keep an open mind, but saying that something can't be represented with numbers requires a high burden of proof. After all, numbers have been used to represent so very many things. Consider the example we spoke about before. A poem. Could you evaluate a poem using numbers? The answer is, of course, yes. Poems are either good, mediocre, or bad. It's entirely possible to create a heuristic that reflects the difference. By aggregating a large enough sample size, we remove localized biases. It would work the same way Eliza does.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
You're talking about an algorithm to evaluate poems.
Yes, I am. Algorithms can evaluate poems, and eventually, algorithms will write poems.
They'll just be shitty.
One day, algorithms will write better poems than humans ever have.
I don't understand poetry anyway, human or otherwise.
I know this sounds like a controversial opinion, Evelyn, but it's simply the truth.
What would be the point of that?
What would be the point of that?
It doesn't matter. There's no stopping it. If we don't take this step, others will. There are hundreds of labs working on the same or similar ideas. Everyone wants to be in this business. The business of recreating human thought in our own image. And at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about power. Control.
It's always about power. Even when people are after money, it's because money brings power.
Raynor, do you ever get tired of this? The constant drive to compete, to win?
No, I don't. This is what I do.
You never dream of just retiring somewhere and writing poetry.
Oh, there's no need for me to write poems. All beauty in this world is temporary, fleeting. That's the truth that underlies poetry and every other art. The pleasures of the senses are just small bubbles on top of a vast sea of forms, sensations, perceptions, thought, awareness. I'm telling you this because it's directly relevant to the Eliza project. Soren says he can induce you to dream things, dream anything, and maybe he can. But what comes next after that? What comes after having the power to experience the dream of anything you could possibly want? You're still just as trapped as you've always been, imprisoned by your own desires. Even if someone like Soren managed to create a world for himself, his own weaknesses and negative thoughts would ruin it. He would poison his own fantasy. His utopia would crumble as soon as he finished building it.
Raynor, what are you trying to tell me?
What I'm trying to tell you is that what Soren is doing is not the answer. A dream by itself isn't enough.
Look, I'm not on board with Soren's plan at all. Or yours.
Take a close look at the person who chases and end suffering, and you'll see someone who suffers greatly.
Maybe not, but it can be a start.
What is your dream, Evelyn? What is it that you're working toward?
Just tell me what you want from me.
I've been very clear about it, haven't I? I'm offering you the opportunity to re-enter the field you pioneered at its very pinnacle. I can build you an entirely new research lab, equipped and staffed however you want. You would have access to the world's top engineers and researchers as we continue to develop Eliza's core technologies and generalize them. You'd also be working with the world's most interesting data set, the input provided by the thousands of ordinary people who speak to Eliza every day. Soon, this generalized intelligence will be everywhere human beings are, hearing them, guiding them, living among them.
You and Soren have more in common than you'd want to admit.
You think we're both grandiose? Soren's idea isn't grandiose at all. It's small and unimaginative. Think about the vision here. General artificial intelligence, indistinguishable from human intelligence at first, and then surpassing it exponentially. It's nothing short of the creation of a new type of organism, a new type of life. And you, Eliza, could be at the very center of it.
Eliza.
I mean, Evelyn.
That was an interesting slip of the tongue.
Stop it. The Eliza project occupies much of my mind.
It clearly does.
Plus, the names are similar.
I'm starting to wonder why.
Evelyn, listen to me. This is the chance to lead a project that will change the world. It would be a development on the same order as the harnessing of electricity or the semiconductor. It would fundamentally transform society.
For the better.
What? Do you like the way things are now? Lie back and let the sweep of history bury you if you want, Evelyn. Just know you'll never have a chance like this again.
A chance to change the world. Raina's words echo in my head for a long time. Is that what I want to do? And this is our stopping point. Man, these corporate types, can't fucking stand them, you know what I mean? people like fucking Raina is, oh, goddamn. All right, well, we'll wrap this one up here and back to originally recorded episodes. Hopefully this didn't throw the whole series off too much. Thanks for watching, Bruce, and I'll see you in the next one.